Welcome to our deep dive into Harry's third year at Hogwarts,
Oh, yeah.
which, as you know, means we're tackling Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
It's a good one.
This one is, I think this one is special because it's such a turning point in the series.
Yeah, definitely.
Things get a lot darker.
For sure.
There's a whole mystery to unravel, and you really see Harry growing up.
You really do. It's
Yeah.
like the hinge between like the lighthearted,
Yeah.
girly books and then, the much more,
Complex.
and darker,
Whoa.
lighter ones.
Okay, so let's jump right in. We start, as usual, with Harry stuck at the Dursleys for the summer.
Right.
But this time there's an added layer of tension.
Oh, yeah.
Sirius Black, a dangerous escaped convict, is on the loose and might be after Harry.
Absolutely. And they really hammer that home. Like even
The news.
the news reports, like, this isn't just some petty criminal. This is like, this guy's bad news.
Right.
He supposedly was a supporter of Voldemort,
Yeah.
responsible for the deaths of 13 people. Uh-huh.
So right away,
Yeah.
there's this like cloud hanging over Harry.
Yeah, and then things get even weirder when Harry accidentally inflates Aunt Marge.
Yeah, classic.
He ends up fleeing Privet Drive and stumbles upon the night bus, which is our introduction to this whole other side of the wizarding world.
Yeah, it's very different.
A much more hidden and sometimes even seedy side.
Yeah, it's got a very different vibe than like Diagon Alley.
Yeah, for sure.
And then on the night bus, he sees the Grim,
Oh, right.
which is this big black dog, which is like an omen of death
Uh-huh.
in wizarding folklore. So it's like,
Foreshadowing.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like brace yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things are about to get intense.
And the feeling of impending danger doesn't let up when Harry arrives at Diagon Alley.
Right.
Even the Minister of Magic himself,
Yeah.
Cornelius Fudge, is visibly worried about Harry's safety.
And it's not just him.
Right.
Like, they've got Dementors stationed at Hogwarts.
Right.
The
That's-
guards of Azkaban.
Yeah. And they're terrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, they're meant to keep Black out, but they just add to this, like, oppressive atmosphere.
Yeah. And then we have the first real encounter with the Dementors on the Hogwarts Express.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not just scary looking. They, like,
Mm-hmm.
literally drain all the happiness out of you.
Like you said, this book is getting dark.
Yeah.
It's a very different vibe.
It's a pretty traumatic experience for Harry, especially since they seem to trigger memories of his parents' death.
Exactly. And this is where we really see, like, how deeply scarred Harry is by his past.
Yeah.
He's not just afraid of Black. He's carrying the weight of, like, his parents' murder and everything.
Right.
So, yeah. But thankfully, we're also introduced to Remus Lupin,
Yes.
the new defense against the dark arts teacher.
He seems like such a good guy
Yeah.
right away.
He drives the Dementor away from Harry.
Yeah. Gives him chocolate.
Gives him chocolate, which I
Yeah.
think we can all relate to. Like, chocolate makes things better.
Yeah. You know, it's that sense that Lupin understands Harry in a way that other adults haven't really.
Yeah, he really gets it. Yeah.
And then, you know, that feeling is amplified when Harry has his first divination class with Professor Trelawney.
Oh, yeah.
She reads his tea leaves and sees the Grim
Uh-huh.
and predicts his death.
Yeah, it's a heavy moment.
But I kind of love it because it really raises questions about fate and free will,
Yeah.
which we're going to see.
Big theme.
Yeah. Throughout the series.
And then we have Hagrid's first Care of Magical Creatures class.
Oh, yes.
He's so excited.
He's brought in hippogriffs.
Yeah.
I love it.
But of course, Malfoy has to go and provoke Buckbeak, the magnificent hippogriff, and gets himself injured.
Well, and this is the start of something bigger, right?
Yeah.
Because Malfoy exaggerates his injury,
Yeah.
and Lucius Malfoy, his father, uses his influence to, like, basically get Buckbeak sentenced to death.
Yeah.
So it's a very clear example of how, like, prejudice and abuse of power can just have these, like, awful consequences.
Yeah, it's a really unfair situation, and you can see how much it hurts Hagrid.
Oh, totally. He's heartbroken. Yeah, he's so passionate about magical creatures.
Yeah.
And to see Buckbeak condemned like that is truly heartbreaking.
Absolutely.
But while all this is going on, Harry is still grappling with his fear of the Dementors.
Right.
He confides in Lupin, and we learn that Lupin knew Harry's parents.
Yes, and not only that, they were best friends.
Best friends.
Like, he was best friends with James Potter.
Wow.
So it's like this really close connection for Harry
Yeah.
to his parents' past.
It's huge.
But it also raises more questions because Lupin's really hesitant to talk about Sirius Black.
Yeah.
It's like a puzzle
It is like a puzzle.
where we're getting all these pieces, but we don't know how they fit yet.
And just when things seem to be calming down a bit,
Oh, yeah.
Black actually breaks into Hogwarts.
Oh, man, talk about upping the stake.
Yeah, suddenly Hogwarts doesn't feel safe anymore.
No.
There's this real sense of vulnerability, not just for Harry, but for everyone at the school.
Yeah, everybody's on edge.
Right, and that vulnerability is on full display during the Quidditch match against Hufflepuff. Right. Dementors swarm the field,
It's a terrible scene.
and Harry, reliving his parents' deaths, falls from his broom.
Yeah.
You know, it's clear that these creatures are more than just guards.
Right.
They're like a psychological weapon.
Absolutely. And I think it's interesting, too, that while everyone else seems to recover fairly quickly from the Dementor attack,
Yeah.
Harry's really shaken.
Right.
Like, it shows how sensitive he is to them.
Uh-huh.
And I think it kind of hints at the deep emotional scars that he carries.
And then we get the introduction of the Marauders map.
Oh, this is such a fun...
I love this part.
It's a great part of the book.
This magical map given to Harry by the Weasley twins shows everyone in Hogwarts.
Yeah.
All the secret passages.
All the good stuff.
But it's the names on the map that really pique our interest.
Yeah.
Moony, Wormtail, Padfoot, and Prongs.
Right.
Who are these Marauders?
Yeah.
And what is their connection to Harry?
It's such a cool way to introduce this, like, element of mystery and intrigue.
Yeah. And using the map, Harry discovers that one of those names, Padfoot, is actually Sirius Black.
Oh, yeah.
Which throws everything we thought we knew about Black into question.
Totally.
If he was friends with Harry's father, why is he supposedly trying to kill Harry?
Exactly.
It's a major twist, and it really sets the stage for the rest of the book's mysteries.
It does.
And just as we're grappling with that, Christmas arrives.
Yes.
Harry receives an anonymous gift.
A wonderful gift.
A top-of-the-line Firebolt broomstick.
Every kid's dream.
But
Hermione, ever the voice of reason.
She's suspicious.
She's worried that
Yeah.
Black sent it.
Yeah, she convinces Professor McGonagall to confiscate it for safety.
Yeah. Poor Harry.
Yeah, which of course causes a bit of a rift between the three friends.
Right.
Harry feels like Hermione is being overprotective.
Yeah, she can be a little bit.
You know, and doesn't understand his passion for Quidditch.
And she doesn't always get it.
Right? But Hermione is just trying to keep him safe.
Right, it's coming from a good place. And as if things weren't tense enough, Hagrid gets a letter informing him that Buckbeak's appeal has been denied.
Oh,
It's awful.
it's a devastating blow, and you can feel Hagrid's despair.
He's lost hope.
Yeah, he has. Meanwhile, Harry's still struggling with his fear of the Dementors.
Right.
Lupin decides to teach him the Patronus charm,
Very useful.
a powerful defensive spell.
So necessary.
And this is where we start to see the connection between the Dementors and Harry's past trauma.
Mm-hmm.
To conjure a Patronus, you have to focus on a powerful, happy memory.
Right.
But Harry's memories of his parents are overshadowed by the horror of their deaths.
It makes it difficult.
So it's a really difficult challenge for him.
For sure.
He's trying to conjure this powerful magic,
Yeah.
but he's also fighting against his own grief and fear.
Totally. And then while all this is happening, Ron and Hermione's relationship is getting even more strained.
Oh, yeah, those two.
Those two.
Because of
Scabbers and Crookshanks.
Crookshanks, the cat.
The cat.
Wants to eat
Yeah, he wants to eat the rat.
Scabbers the rat.
Right.
Yeah, their constant bickering just adds to the overall tension.
It's like the calm before the storm.
Yeah. And then in Chapter 11, we have the Quidditch match against Ravenclaw.
Okay.
Harry, riding his newly returned Firebolt,
Yes.
leads Gryffindor to victory.
It's a great moment.
Such a triumphant moment.
It is.
You know, this brief respite from all the fear and uncertainty. But of course it can't last.
It never does.
That night, Black breaks into Gryffindor Tower again.
Oh, no.
This time slashing Ron's bed curtains.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Ron claims that he saw Black dragging Scabbers away.
Which is weird.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
It is.
Why would Black want to kidnap a rat?
It's a question that's going to hang over us for a bit.
For a bit.
For a bit.
And as the tension mounts,
Hmm.
everyone is on edge,
Everybody.
especially Hagrid.
Yeah.
The day of Buckbeak's execution arrives, and he's completely heartbroken.
He is a mess.
Yeah.
It's a very sad scene.
Even Dumbledore, who usually seems so in control, seems powerless to stop it.
Yeah, it's a really somber moment. It
Yeah.
really underscores that theme of injustice that we're seeing a lot of.
Yeah.
But, you know, as we head into these final chapters, we're left wondering, will Buckbeak really be executed?
Yeah.
And what will happen to Sirius Black?
Good, we gotta wait for part 2.
Why not wait for part 2?
To find out.
To find out.
So we left off with Buckbeak facing execution.
Yeah, and Sirius Black still on the loose,
Right.
having allegedly kidnapped Scabbers.
And, of course, it's a stormy night,
Oh.
the kind of night where anything could happen.
Yeah.
So naturally, Harry, Ron, and Hermione sneak out to visit Hagrid.
Of course they do.
You know, typical teenage logic.
Danger, let's get closer.
Right. But it actually leads to a pretty important discovery.
Oh.
While they're there, Hermione spots Scabbers hiding in a milk jug.
That's so weird. Like, why would a rat be hiding like that?
It's very suspicious.
And before they can figure it out, you know, the executioner arrives to, like, carry out the sentence.
Oh, man.
It's a really heartbreaking scene.
It is.
And you can just feel Hagrid's grief and despair.
Yeah, it's one of those moments where you really feel for Hagrid.
Yeah.
He's lost his friend, and there's nothing anyone can do about it.
Right.
It's so sad.
But as they're leaving, Hagrid's things take another dramatic turn.
Of course.
Ron, who's still clutching Scabbers, is suddenly dragged away by that large black dog we've seen lurking around.
Wait, the Grim?
Yeah.
The one that's supposed to be an omen of death?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
I know, it's a moment of, like, pure panic.
Yeah.
Harry and Hermione chase after Ron, following the dog through the grounds of Hogwarts.
I bet.
And this is where Crookshanks actually proves to be helpful for once.
Right. I was wondering when Crookshanks was going to, like, redeem himself.
Yeah, so he leads them to the Whomping Willow,
Oh.
that notoriously violent tree.
The one even Hagrid avoids.
Right, but Crookshanks seems to know how to disable it, allowing Harry and Hermione to follow the dog into the secret tunnel hidden beneath its roots.
Ooh, another secret passage.
I know, right? This book is full of them.
It is.
So where does this tunnel lead?
I don't know. Tell me.
To the Shrieking Shack. You know that abandoned house in Hogsmeade?
The one everyone's afraid of.
Right, the one with all the rumors about ghosts and werewolves.
Okay, yeah. Now things are getting really creepy.
It's like a classic horror movie setup.
Uh-huh.
Dark and stormy night, a creepy abandoned house,
Yeah.
and our heroes venturing into the unknown.
Yeah, and what do they find?
Well, inside the Shrieking Shack, they finally come face to face with Sirius Black.
Oh, no.
I know.
So it really was Black who kidnapped Ron.
Well, it's not as straightforward as it seems.
Okay.
Black insists that he didn't kidnap Ron. He just wants to kill Scabbers.
Okay, that's a little reassuring, I guess.
A little bit.
Kill Scabbers, why?
I know, and just as Harry is about to attack, Black Professor Lupin bursts in.
Lupin to the rescue.
Right.
I knew he would show up eventually.
Yeah, but his arrival doesn't exactly, like, diffuse the situation.
Oh, no.
It actually makes things even more complicated.
Right.
So Lupin seems to know Black,
Uh-huh.
and they act like old friends,
Yeah.
which totally confuses Harry.
Right.
And then, get this, Lupin helps Black disarm Ron.
Okay.
And they reveal,
Yeah.
wait for it,
Oh, my God.
that Scabbers isn't really a rat.
Hold on. Scabbers isn't a rat.
No.
Then what is he?
He's actually Peter Pettigrew,
Who?
an old friend of James Potter who everyone thought was dead.
What?
Like, he's been hiding as a rat for 12 years.
Oh, my God. That is crazy.
It's like one of those twists you never see coming.
You do not see that one coming.
And it just flips everything we thought we knew about these characters.
Yeah.
Like, Sirius Black, the supposed villain, is actually innocent.
Yeah.
And Peter Pettigrew, the seemingly harmless rat, is the real traitor.
Oh, my God. It's brilliant. So Pettigrew's the one who betrayed Harry's parents to Voldemort.
Yes.
But how did he end up as Ron's pet?
Well, after betraying the Potters, Pettigrew faked his own death. He cut off his finger,
Oh, my God.
transformed into a rat to escape,
Oh, my God.
and then somehow he ended up in the Weasley family as Percy's pet,
Okay.
and then eventually became Ron's.
That's wild.
It's a wild story.
So Black wasn't after Harry. He was after Pettigrew to bring him to justice.
Exactly.
But-
And Black explains, you know, that he was James Potter's best friend
Wow.
and Harry's godfather.
Okay.
He's been trying to clear his name and avenge the Potters all these years.
Oh.
And Lupin was in on it too.
I knew he was hiding something.
Well, not exactly in on it, but
Yeah.
he knew the truth.
Okay.
And this is where we get the full story.
Okay.
It turns out Lupin, Black, Pettigrew, and James Potter were all best friends at Hogwarts.
Okay, the Marauders.
Right. They were also the creators of the Marauders map.
Oh my gosh, it all connects.
I know.
But wait, what about Moony? We haven't heard much about that one.
Ah, well, Moony is actually Lupin's nickname. He's a werewolf.
What?
Yeah.
Lupin's a werewolf.
Which explains, you know, his mysterious disappearances
Yeah.
and his expertise in dealing with dark creatures. So it's a big reveal.
It is.
And it adds another layer of complexity to his character.
Yeah.
He's a good man,
Yeah.
but he's struggling with this condition
You're right.
that makes him kind of an outcast.
It's really sad.
It is a little bit tragic.
Yeah.
But back to the present. They've got Pettigrew cornered.
Okay, what happens next?
Well, just as they're about to take him back to the castle,
Uh-huh.
the full moon rises.
Oh, no.
And as we know, a full moon means...
Lupin transforms into a werewolf?
Oh, yeah.
This is a disaster.
It's a tense situation.
I bet.
Black tries to protect Harry, Ron, and Hermione from Lupin.
Uh-huh.
But it's a close call.
Oh, my God.
And then, to make matters worse,
Oh, no.
Dementors arrive on the scene.
Of course they do.
Drawn by all the chaos.
Those Dementors have a knack for showing up at the worst possible moment.
But I know, right?
What happens to Harry?
He's totally overwhelmed.
Oh, no.
He can't fight them off. He's about to succumb to their despair when a powerful Patronus appears.
Oh, my gosh.
And drives them away.
Okay, that's amazing.
I know.
But who conjured the Patronus? Was it Lupin?
No, it wasn't Lupin.
Okay.
And it wasn't Black either.
Okay.
They're both too weak to fight at this point.
Okay.
It came from across the lake,
Okay.
this powerful stag Patronus.
Wow.
That seems to be protecting Harry specifically.
Okay, now I'm really curious.
I know.
Who could it be? Is there another wizard out there?
Well, that's the mystery, isn't it?
Yeah.
We'll have to wait for part 3 to find out.
Okay, so we're back, and I'm dying to know who conjured that stag Patronus.
I bet.
It's a real cliffhanger, and knowing this book, it's probably not going to be a simple answer.
You're right about that. And it does take a little while for the truth to come out.
Okay.
So we pick up with, Black and Lupin taking Pettigrew back to the castle.
Right.
And tending to hand him over to the Dementors.
For justice.
Right. But then things get really complicated.
Oh.
Snape shows up, determined to capture Black himself.
Yeah, he's got it out for Black.
Oh, he does, and he completely ignores Lupin's explanation.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
he is fueled by this, old hatred for Black.
Snape's such a complex character.
Yes.
You can tell there's so much history there, but he doesn't exactly make it easy to sympathize with him.
No, he doesn't, but I think it's important to remember that, Snape's hatred for Black stems from their time at Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Where Black and his friends bullied Snape mercilessly.
Right.
And that bullying really had long-lasting effects on Snape.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it shaped who he became.
Yeah. It's a reminder that bullying is not harmless fun.
No.
It can have real consequences.
Absolutely.
But back to the story, they're about to take Pettigrew away, and then Snape gets knocked unconscious.
Yeah.
What happens next?
Well, this is where the Dementors really make their move.
Oh.
With Lupin incapacitated and Black and Pettigrew defenseless, they close in, ready to administer their soul-sucking kiss.
It's awful. It's terrifying.
It's terrifying.
And it seems like all hope is lost.
It really does.
So it's all over for Black and Pettigrew. There's no one left to save them.
Well, that's what it seems like.
Okay.
But just as the Dementors are about to strike,
Yeah.
that mysterious stag Patronus reappears,
Okay.
even more powerful than before.
Oh, wow.
It drives the Dementors back,
Oh.
giving Harry, Ron, Hermione, Black, and even the unconscious Pettigrew a chance to escape.
Okay. That Patronus is seriously impressive.
Huh.
I'm even more curious now to know who's behind it. Any clues?
Not really, at least not yet.
Yeah.
So the focus kind of shifts to Black's escape.
Okay.
With the Dementors temporarily at bay, Dumbledore arrives.
Of course he does.
And he orchestrates this very daring plan.
Oh, I love that.
He instructs Hermione to use her time turner.
Wait, a time turner?
Yeah.
That's like seriously powerful magic.
It is.
What do they need to go back in time for?
Well, Dumbledore realizes that they can't just let Black escape. He's still a wanted man.
Yeah.
And if they're seen helping him, it's just going to cause more harm than good.
Yeah.
So the plan is for Hermione and Harry to go back in time
Okay.
and essentially save themselves and Black
Okay.
without anyone realizing what happened.
Okay, that's clever. But how does that explain the Patronus?
Well, that's the brilliant part.
Okay.
As Harry and Hermione retrace their steps, they witness the events of the night from a different perspective.
Yeah.
And guess what?
I don't know. Tell me.
They see that stag Patronus again,
Okay.
this time from across the lake.
Yeah.
And it's then that Harry realizes something incredible.
Wait, don't tell me he conjured it himself.
He did.
What?
It was Harry all along.
That is amazing.
I know.
He was so focused on saving himself and Sirius that he didn't even realize he was the one producing the Patronus.
Right. It's like this powerful moment of self-discovery,
Yeah.
showing Harry that he is capable of this extraordinary magic,
Wow.
even without knowing it.
It makes you think about all the hidden potential that we all have inside ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
But if Harry cast the Patronus, why did he think it was someone else?
Marty saw the Patronus as a stag,
Uh-huh.
which, as we find out later, is his father's animagus form.
Oh.
So it's like the subtle connection, this
Yeah.
hint at the deep bond between Harry and his father, even though they never met.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So it's saved themselves and Black, right? Does he finally get to clear his name?
Sadly, no.
Oh.
While they do manage to help Black escape, on Buckbeak's back,
Yeah.
the Ministry remains convinced of his guilt. But Harry knows the truth, and that's what matters most to him.
Yeah.
It's
bittersweet.
It is.
Black is free, but he can't return to his life.
And to make matters worse, Lupin ends up resigning from Hogwarts.
Oh, yeah.
With his secret revealed.
Right.
He feels like he can no longer stay at the school.
It's such a shame because he was a fantastic teacher.
He was.
And a true friend to Harry.
It was great.
I really liked Lupin. But at least Harry receives a parting gift from Black, a permission slip to visit Hogsmeade next year.
That's nice.
A sign that Black is safe and watching over him.
And Ron gets a new owl.
Right, he needs a new pet.
Yeah, to replace Scabbers.
Yeah, it's not a perfect ending.
No.
But there's a sense of hope.
Yeah.
A feeling that things will eventually get better.
And that's the beauty of Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yeah.
It's a story about facing your fears, confronting injustice, and discovering your own strength.
Yeah.
It's such a turning point in this series.
It is.
This bridge between the lighter early books
right.
and the darker, more complex stories to come.
Yeah, and it leaves you wanting more.
Totally.
You can't wait to see what happens next.
Right.
How Harry will handle the challenges ahead, knowing that Voldemort is out there, gathering power.
Lurking in the shadows.
But for now, we'll have to leave Harry at the Dursleys.
Yeah.
With the memory of that stag Patronus, a symbol of hope and the enduring power of love.
It's a powerful image to end on.
It is.
A reminder that even in the darkest of times, there's always that light within us, waiting to be unleashed.
And that's a wrap on our deep dive into Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
That was fun.
Thanks for joining us, and until next time, keep those wands at the ready.